Hello, boys and girls. This is Miss Hood, and we are going to be working hard on revising and editing our writing this week. So, you worked hard last week creating a troll story called Troll Trouble. Some of you might have titled it something else, but I hope that you had a chance to finish those stories because this week is focused on making changes to those stories to make them better. So, if you're not done, remember to finish your story so you can work hard on making it better. Okay, to help you revise and edit, today we're only going to focus on editing. See this word edit? That means you're going to go in, reread your story that you already wrote, and you're going to make changes. Right now, we're going to focus on my beginning of my story, just a very short part, and find some mistakes that I've made that we can change. So whenever you're thinking about editing your writing, remember the word cups. See these letters in the blue on this side over here? So C-U-P-S. If you can remember cups, you'll remember to edit your writing. So first, the C stands for capitalization. We know every beginning of a sentence should have a capital letter. Proper nouns, that names, places, people, and months and things, should be capital. Anytime you use the letter I by itself, it should be capital. And of course, book titles. The U stands for usage. That's you using your verbs correctly. Does your noun match the verb? Does it make sense? Punctuation, it could be an apostrophe mistake, it could be quotation marks, it could be commas, periods, question marks, exclamation marks, so any type of punctuation. And then, of course, the S is spelling. Check spelling and remember your rules and what you've learned with your syllable types this year. So now let's get to editing. Here is my beginning of my story, and I don't have it on present mode because I want you to be able to see me make changes as we go. So we're going to read it one sentence at a time, and we're thinking about cups to help us. So remind me again what the C was. Great, capitalization. What's the U? Awesome, usage. What about the P? Punctuation, wonderful. And what about the S? Yep, spelling, you've got it. And I also attached the cups poster for you to look at when you're doing your own editing. Okay, here we go, one sentence at a time. So I'm going to start and I'm going to read the sentence and think about cups to help me. And I know a sentence is done if there's punctuation, but if I miss the punctuation, I'll talk about how I know when a sentence is done. So what a wonderful day for a hike in the woods. There's a comma, but that's not the end of a sentence. I think as I meandered through the trees. Cups, capitalization. Is there any capital mistakes? Well, I know the beginning of the sentence should always have a capital and they don't. So here's how you're going to show that. You are going to highlight that W, then you're going to go up here to Format. And under Format, under Format, where was that at? Under Text, you're going to see over here that it says strike through. So anytime we make a mistake, we're going to strike through that mistake. Maybe I have to do the whole word. Let me try that again. So I'm going to go to Text, and then I'm going to go through strike through. There it is. Do you see how it marked out my what? So that's how you're going to show you had a mistake. Beside it, you're going to write it the correct way. So I was working on the C of cups, means capitalizations. I have to hit Shift and W. There we go. Now my what is capitalized. So now you see where my mistake was and that I fixed it. What a wonderful day for a hike in the woods, I think, as I meandered through the trees. So I fixed my capital mistake. I don't see any other capital mistake in that sentence. And there's a comma, so that I think that comma belongs there. And there's a period at the end, so the punctuation's good. I'm looking for spelling mistakes. For the P or the S, I don't see any spelling. But there's this part right here. Listen to this. What a wonderful day for a hike in the woods, I think, as I meandered. Meandered has an ED, so they're telling me this happened in the past. I don't know if they should use the word think here, because if I'm think, that's happening now. So that's called a usage mistake. So I'm going to go to text and I'm going to strike through think. If I'm talking about in the past, what do I say instead of think? Great, thought, and I don't need to capitalize it. So let me read that again without those mistakes. What a wonderful day for a hike in the woods, I thought as I meandered through the trees. So now I found two mistakes. One was a capital and one was a usage. Okay, now on this next sentence, I want you to try. So read the second sentence. I'll highlight it so we know what sentence you're working on right here. Okay, so from a distance, I heard water running. So first you look for capitalization mistakes. Remember at any time you can go back to this chart to help you remember cups, capitalization, usage, punctuation, and spelling. So look back, is there a capital mistake? Do you see any spelling mistakes? Sorry, I need to go in order. Do you see a usage mistake? Is there a verb that doesn't make sense? Do you see a punctuation mistake? Periods, commas, question marks, apostrophes. And do you see a spelling mistake? Well, great. I'm so glad you looked so hard because you realized that this needed to be capitalized. So you probably went to text or you told me that I needed to strike through the I, and beside it, I needed to make it capital. And then that's right. From a distance, I heard water running. What? That was not a question. So I need to highlight that question mark. I need to go to format. I need to go to text and go on strike through. And it marks out that question. That just needs to be a period. There we go. Good job. Okay. This next sentence, try and see if you find any mistakes in this next sentence. Let me highlight it. Ooh, this is one of those examples. That's either a super long sentence or maybe they forgot punctuation somewhere. I scurried. Hold on a second. I scurried toward the bubbly sound of this and find a stream. I like pause there. Wonder what they're missing. So I feel like this sentence really isn't this long. So what mistakes do we see in this sentence? Is there something that they should have capitalized and they didn't? What about usage? Is there any verbs that need to be changed because they don't make sense? Is there anything that they have punctuation? Do they need punctuation somewhere? And did they spell everything correctly? Okay, boys and girls, let's see how well you did. So right here, I'm not sure why this is underlined because scurried is correct. I scurried toward the bubbly sound and find a stream. That doesn't sound right to me. I scurried, this is in the past, toward the bubbly sound and find a stream? Find. If this is in the past, I shouldn't be using the word find. That's a usage mistake. So what word should you have used? You were correct. You guys said found. Sorry, that didn't need to be capital. Found a stream. They did. Okay, and what did they do? Scurried toward the bubbly sound and found a stream. They told me who the sentence was about and they told me what they did. So right here, there's nothing to strike through, but we should have added a period there because that was the end of a sentence. I don't think sound is spelled correctly. That makes me want to say sond. What makes the ow sound? That's right. It needed to be an OU instead of an ON. And then the next part was I carefully tiptoed across the rocks, trying not to fall into the stream. I don't see capital mistakes. I don't see usage mistakes. But to me, rocks doesn't sound right. There was some kind of rule you guys learned this year. And that short O sound, I believe, needed a CK after it instead of just a K. So I carefully tiptoed across the rocks, trying not to fall into the stream. Okay, next sentence, try this one. Yeah, I announced as I made it across successfully. I see a period there, so I'm going to stop. So do we have any capitalization mistakes here? Something that needs to be capitalized? Or something that's capitalized and it shouldn't be? Do we have any usage mistake? Does our verbs make sense? Do we have any punctuation mistakes? Like periods and apostrophes and commas and quotation marks? Do we have any spelling mistakes? Okay, let's see how you did. Awesome job. Right here, I said something. I should have had quotation marks around that word because that came out of my mouth. That's something I said. Yeah. I announced as I made it across successfully. I don't see any capital mistakes. The verbs make sense. The punctuation should be a period. But I don't know if this is how I spell across because that silent E on the end would say across. So I'm going to strike through across. And if I'm spelling across, it shouldn't have a silent E. A-C-R-O-S-S. That would say across because that O would be short. Okay. And last sentence. Here we go. I keep trudging along to see what I would find. Do you see any capital mistakes? Do you see any word usage, verb mistakes to where it doesn't make sense? Do you see any spelling mistakes or punctuation? Okay, let's see how you did. Very good. We're not doing it right now, trudging along to see what I would find. So that should be kept. That's present tense. We want all of our whole story. We're telling what happened and it's in the past. So I'm going to mark that out and spell kept. That's a usage mistake. I kept trudging along to see what I would find. I don't see any other spelling. I don't see any capital mistakes. But that's the end of a sentence, and they don't even have a what there. Yeah, they needed a period. Okay, boys and girls. So you're going to take what you learned just about editing today. And remember, when you find a mistake, highlight that whole word, go to Format, go to Text, slide over and go to Strike Through. See how it took it off? So you have to go highlight the word, go to Text, Strike Through, and that shows you made a mistake. And right beside it, you put the new word with the correction. Make sure if it's a spelling mistake, it's spelled correctly. Capital letters if it's a capitalization mistake. If it's a usage mistake, make sure you've used the correct word. Boys and girls, now it's your turn. Remember, here's your chart, and this chart is attached to your assignment. You're going to go to your troll story. Don't just stop at your beginning. I want you to read your story sentence at a time, and I want you to find capitalization mistakes, usage mistakes where things don't make sense, punctuation, there should be periods, question marks, apostrophe, quotation marks in certain places maybe, and check your spelling using your rules you've learned from word study this year. Okay, good luck and have fun fixing your writing. Bye.